Tel Aviv, and good day, Australia.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Oh, thank you. You speak French.
A little bit.
A little bit. Un petit peu. No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it in English. So obviously, I'm with Kate from Australia. How are you doing? First question. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm really well. Thank you. Yep, I'm holding up. How about you?
Yeah, it's kind of tiring experience, but that's very interesting. Meeting nice people, and actually, it's the first time I meet an Australian person. I think.
Ever in your life?
Ever in my life.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Because we're everywhere.
So, first question: you're the first Australian entrant to have won a national selection show. How does it feel? Because this time you've been chosen by the Australian public.
Yeah, look, it's an enormous honour, but it also adds a layer of responsibility to my performance, you know, because I don't want to let the people down, the people that voted for me. But I was absolutely thrilled, you know, to win, and I think there were several really deserving artists that would have all done a fabulous job.
If I'm being completely honest with you, I watched the show quite early in the morning in France, and you were not my favorite song. I love Electric Fields, but then, because I was not convinced by the staging has completely changed. Why this? And actually now it's growing on me. Now I really like what I see on screen, really like. Why did you change this, the staging so dramatically? Actually?
Oh, thank you, by the way, and yes, you're not the first person to express that to me too. I mean, I'm the biggest Electric Fields fan in the world, and they're some of my dear friends actually, and I'm crossing my fingers that they go next year.
I think they're going to be there, not there, but they're going to give the points from Australia.
Yeah, so they'll still be a part of Eurovision this year. But yeah, look, we did take a lot of the feedback on board after Australia Decides, and also, you know, for me, getting to watch it back, it gave me a perspective that obviously I didn't have just standing up there. And I think all of us agreed, you know, in the creative team, the director, that it was a little bit busy and there are a lot of sort of elements that were perhaps sort of detracting from each other, and we just wanted to have a sort of one strong, clear, streamlined idea. I still loved the strange fruit, the bendy pole thing. I just love that floating movement, and I feel it's really in sync with the song in a really effective, beautiful way. And yeah, we were also surprised that I could actually sing up there myself, and as soon as I tried that for the first time, it just clicked, and there wasn't even a discussion. It was just like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think in the national final, you were very static while the others were moving, and now it's a beautiful show. The other day I was inside the arena watching Georgia rehearsing, and you were backstage waiting on your ball. So how does it feel? Because it's quite high actually. You're going to see it on screen.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive and very high. How do you stand there? And you were just standing still, waiting for your turn. How long do you stay up in the air before singing? How long does it take to?
Well, they don't give us much time to change over. I think they were testing it, hoping that, you know, the reason I was waiting right there poised to go is so that we could have the quickest changeover time possible. Because that was always a bit of a risk with the poles, because they do require a fair bit of setup. But I think we got that changeover done in 1 minute, so that was a huge relief. And it obviously takes me a few minutes to climb up the pole. That's the scariest part. And then I have to pull my skirt up from the ground all the way up the pole to tie it around. So I'm trying to get it down to about 5 minutes, you know, preparation backstage, and then just enough time to kind of take a breath and center myself and then get on.
Last year it was kind of a national disaster in Australia, because for the first time you did not qualify for the final. Or she did, but she didn't do that well. I mean, usually Australia is quite up on the scoreboard, and Jessica did not do as well as we were expecting.
She did make it to the final.
She did. But then in the public vote, she was quite low compared to other things. Does it add any pressure on you, or no? It's just you yourself. You're Kate in Australia. You're doing your thing, and no matter what happened before, do you try to compare yourself to the former performers like Danny Inn, who did an incredible job back in Stockholm, or no, you just want to focus on yourself?
Oh, look, I think Dummy's amazing. I think Jess is amazing. They all are. I think, I can control my own performance and try to make it as good and as powerful as it can be. But in terms of, whether people vote for Australia or not, all I can say is, we love Eurovision so much, and we're so happy and grateful to be included, to be invited to the party. And yeah, that's it.
That was my next question. I'm not going to ask you the typical question, why is Australia participating in Eurovision, because it's not Europe. Anyhow, guys, even Israel is not in Europe, if I'm not mistaken. So that's not the point. But my question would be, why are Australians so interested in Eurovision? Because for me, it's just like if French or Greek people were interested in Australian football championship.
Yeah.
You see, so or footy championship. So why are Australians so passionate about what's happening here?
Well, I guess music is a universal language, even more universal than certain kinds of sport. I think Australians obviously respond to the spectacle and just the pop fabulousness and the colour, the celebration. And I think also Australians, we have a really competitive streak in our culture. We love sport. But for the people who are not interested in sport, Eurovision is this brilliant outlet where they get to, give points and write up tables and rankings, and it's competitive, and it just scratches an itch for those people, and I'm one of them.
Oh, that's good, and you're more than welcome. I've seen that Australia's going to participate at least for the next 3 or 5 years, so that's just perfect. The bigger, the better for this competition. There are rumors saying that Australia is preparing some kind of equivalent to Eurovision in the Pacific Asia region. Have you heard of it? And what do you think it's a good idea to make the same contest but with Asian and Pacific nations like Australia, New Zealand, China? Do you think it's interesting, or no? You focus on Eurovision.
Look, I think it's an idea that people would love all over the world. I think it could be amazing to transfer the idea to Asia. I'm sure people would absolutely love it. So.
And would you take part to it once again? Would you say, okay, I'm going for another competition representing Australia? Could you do this contest, or could you come back to Eurovision in like a couple of years from now, take part to Eurovision again?
I think there are so many great artists in Australia that they should have their turn. All I'm focused on is this performance right now.
And how confident are you, to be honest? Do you think, you have qualification is quite secure, or no, you don't know?
I feel good about it, but I don't take anything for granted, that's for sure. And, as I said, there's only so much I can control. I believe in the idea, I believe in the song. The song is about something real and something emotional. And I believe that our staging serves the song and brings out the most powerful elements in the song. And I'm just going to try to do it justice.
And that will be my last question. Among the 40 other songs, I'm not asking you which one is your favorite, that's your secret, but which song would you like to be performing on stage? Which song do you think, this one, that must be nice to perform it?
As in to be that artist
exactly.
For a second.
Yeah.
Well, I really love Tulia's song, and I love their whole vibe, and I love the idea of getting to sing with 3 other women. I think that would be a beautiful communal way to experience Eurovision, because sometimes it gets lonely singing by myself all the time. Although I do have my 2 amazing acrobats behind me. It could be fun to get my BDSM on and be Hatari for a day. It would be interesting.
Okay, so you have quite an eclectic range of music taste. You can go from Atari to Tulia, which is quite traditional but modern. Atari, which is, I don't know, something.
It's pop music.
It's kind of it's kind of pop. It's quite interesting. Listen, thank you very much. enjoy the experience, and I'm wishing you the very best of luck for the semi-final.
Thank you
I'm
so
quite
much.
confident. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.